Hey guys, I am McD and welcome to a new series, McD Plays Dark Souls 2. The newest entry in the From Software franchise, one of my favorite series of all time. As you know, I'm currently playing a Dark Souls 1 playthrough that I haven't finished before Dark Souls 2 came out on Steam. But regardless, I'm going to be starting this one up as well. Let's go ahead and hop right into a new game. This is the first time booting it up on Steam for me. I've played the game tons of times on my PS3, but this just came out last night on Steam, so I'm really excited to get in here and see how well it looks, how well it runs. Yeah, the brightness should work just the way it is right now. I'll leave subtitles and blood on, of course, and we don't really need any of this. Jump controls I'm going to leave on with the left stick because that's how I'm used to playing now. We will leave the voice chat restricted, the cross-region play restricted for now. I might open that up later on, but for now we'll leave it restricted. There's probably tons of people in the States wanting to play anyway, so let's go ahead and boot up this game. Man, I am super excited.
Perhaps you've seen it, maybe in a dream, a murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything. Once branded, the symbol of the curse, an augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drang Lake. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Like a moth drawn to a flame, your wings will burn in anguish. Time after time. For that is your fate. The fate of the curse. first.
I really do enjoy that opening a bunch. It's expertly crafted. This frame rate. I'm feeling it. So you can see we've just started off. We didn't even get to name our character or pick the class. That will come eventually. We are starting in an area known as Things Betwixt. And we're going to get our bearings here. For those of you that are unsure of the controls, if you haven't watched anybody play Dark Souls 1 or if you haven't played it yourself, you've got left analog stick to move around. Right analog stick moves your camera. You do have the holding down the B button will help you run. And this time, instead of double tapping B to jump, you're just going to do a roll anyway. But to jump, you're going to click in your left analog stick. I actually like that addition. At first I wasn't wild, but it's grown on to me a lot. Right bumper, regular attack. Right trigger, stronger attack. And that mimics the left bumper and trigger as well. Of course, you can parry with the left trigger. Health bar up at the top left. It is only half full because currently we are hollow. Once we are unhollow, we will have full health again. And the stamina bar is right underneath it. So we're going to go ahead and move through this area. And the first thing you encounter is, of course, these little guys. And they're completely non-hostile unless you decide to attack them first. Look at how cute he is. What's going on, fella? I made the mistake of my very first playthrough just going up and going, I'm just going to punch you, and then that ended terribly. So, but we're going to head over here, and we're going to find an item, Rusted Coin, one of the newer items to the game. Pick that up, and head back through. And we're going to head through here and see what's going on. Now, before we head over to this hut, there are a couple places to explore. There is this little area right here, and if you head into this path, you're going to see these giant footprints. And of course, giant footprints are never a good thing. If you head up here, you are going to end up seeing this gentleman right here, this giant troll. You don't want to mess with him right now. We could come back and mess with him later. Yeah, he's a powerhouse, especially since we don't have any form of weaponry. But if you kill him, you'll end up getting a ring that, you know, could help later on in the game. You can head across this bridge. And I'm trying to remember if there's a specific item over here at the... Nope. I know there might be one at the waterfall. So what we're going to do is just drop back out here. This is where we originally started. And yeah, there's an item down there. I can't remember if I need to have a homeward bone to get back up from it. So we're going to go ahead and ignore that for right now. And we are going to hop in to this hut, take a peek, and see who's home.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon
feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed. What is your name?
Now we're given the opportunity to name ourselves. And of course, I always don't plan ahead on naming my character. I actually ended up hopping into an RPG name generator earlier and put in like a male generator name for a human, and it came up with some shit I couldn't even pronounce. So we're gonna go with one of my all-time favorites, one of my favorite items on the Moe's Southwest Grill menu, Billy Baru. That will suffice. And by suffice, I mean don't clear it out, damn it. Okay, got that. And we should be all set.
At least you know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy. Take a closer look. Who do you think it's supposed to be? Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Okay, so now we are going to be able to create our character. I have my mouse appearing right in the center of the screen. I don't know if Fraps is taking it off or not, but there's definitely a mouse pointing at my character's junk right now, so forgive me. Now, you do have some new classes here, but you do have some old ones as well. You got Warrior, Knight, Swordsman, Bandit, Cleric, Sorcerer. Please load. That's another thing. It always takes a bit to load some of these classes up. Explorer, Deprived. As always, Deprived will be in here. I was thinking of maybe doing a magic turn this time around, but I would like to enjoy my first playthrough on the PC and recording for you guys. So I was going to settle on either Swordsman or Knight. I am currently working on a two-handed build on my PS3, so I think I'm going to go with the Knight, which is fine for me. We get to choose a gift, and unlike the mystery key, any of these items can be picked up in the game this time around, so human effigy might be worth it, but you'll end up picking them up later in the game. They are a bit rare at the beginning, but you can definitely pick up some later on. Seed of the Tree of Giants, a seed grown from a tree of giants, inedible. What I believe this item does is if you end up getting invaded, you could use the Seed of the Tree of Giants, and any enemies in your world will aggro to invaders, which is really nice. Petrified Something. This is an item that you can end up giving to an NPC later on. We'll talk about that shortly in this episode. Bonfire Aesthetic, I think I'm going to go with this. Toss into a bonfire to raise the strength of nearby foes. Only for those who seek greater challenges. Now, I could use that. I could burn that at a bonfire, and all of the enemies in the area will become tougher. Almost like bumping them up to New Game Plus mode. And that could be useful for getting items, more souls, what have you. So I'm going to go with Bonfire Aesthetic. And what I would like to do is just quickly... Yeah, we got our right gender. Build's fine. Physique, definitely not ripped. Face. Homeland. We're going to make him pale. We're going to keep him pale. Hair? I still wish that they added a bit more hair to this. But we'll go with this hairstyle. That's probably the closest to what I have of myself. I like a little bit of surrealism in my game here. And we'll go brown hair. I did not choose white. I want this. There we go. There we go. Eyebrows are fine. I'm fine with that. I don't really care. Eye color. Switch over to green. Ugh, definitely not this green. Got some Martian Manhunter eyes right there. Yeah, we'll do like an olive. That makes sense. Sexy. And I'm currently bearding up, but we'll go clean shaven. Tattoos and the sort. Opacity, I'm fine. So we got our face. Advanced settings. This is where you can play pretty much with everything, resize stuff, but I don't really care at this time. I think we're going to be good. Let's finalize our creation and finish up the dialogue.
All people come here for the same reason. To break the curse. You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance. Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom. But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
Well, thanks for the positive reinforcement, Coach. I really appreciate it. And you can see I picked up a bunch of shit. This is just because I pre-ordered the game. Honestly, you can pick up all of these items later on. I'm not going to use them. Yeah. So these ladies, nothing like FromSoft to just drop some NPCs at the beginning of the game and fucking just make you worry about how well you're going to do right at the start. So you do have these three ladies, and you do have their servant right here. We'll talk to her in just a moment, but first, you head up these stairs. You want to explore Dark Souls, guys. It's exactly what you want to do. You're gonna have a chest right here. We're gonna open this up, and we are going to obtain another human effigy. Human effigies are pretty much the replacement of humanity this time out. If you're hollow, you can pop one of these. It will restore you to human form, restore your health to full, and yeah, they're a bit, like I was mentioning earlier, they're a bit more rare, but not too bad to come across later on in the game. We're gonna go ahead and speak to Millibeth.
This is a limbo. A link between Drangleic and the outer world. Fair traveler, I know that you must have a story. Why else would you visit such a place? This lost, decayed kingdom. My name is Millibeth. The old women were once fire keepers. I am here to look after them. It is what my mother did, and her mother before her, and so on. The old women were keepers of the fire. But now, the fire shows signs of fading, and the kingdom is beset by hollows. The old women are sisters. I am told there was a fourth. Long ago, firekeepers were commonplace, but now they are lost, scattered to the winds. The old women are sisters, but now...
Okay, so some interesting dialogue right there. We have learned that they are firekeepers, and what we learned from the first game is that firekeepers should not meet, ever. So what are they doing all hanging out together having a party? I don't like it. Don't like it none too much. And they were mentioning a fourth sister. That could have been the old woman we were seeing in the opening intro, but who knows? That is to be, explored later on. So what we're gonna do is head through this door, and we've got our first bonfire. Let's go ahead and light it. Now, you guys might notice it, you might not. I was noticing it as soon as we started moving around and things betwixt. The frame rate is kind of going a little bit on me, so I put all of my settings to high, and as professional as I am, I didn't test record at all before I started, so I probably won't keep it like that. After this episode, I might fool around in the next area without, talking to anybody, and just play with the frame rate a bit, or play with the settings a bit, make sure everything looks good. So I just destroyed this cart right here, picked up an item, and FromSoft is actually being, helpful like they did last time, and they're leaving little messages for you. These tombstones or markers that you can read. Bonfires are places of respite. You may also want to, I didn't read that, you may also light torches on them. So what I just picked up over here, I believe, is a torch. We can go ahead and go into... Oh, we don't have to go into our inventory. You can go over to a bonfire, and if you have a torch, you can toggle at the bonfire. Use A to light your torch. I only got 5 minutes right now, but torches can be used to light sconces on walls and other things. A couple other mechanics in the game that you use them for. You can light this right here. You can set the light. There we go. And I'm just going to turn that off because I don't really use them all too much in this game. So this is pretty much the obligatory training area before you get to the real game. We're going to head through some of these fog walls. And of course there's going to be these markers, message markers, pretty much explaining everything, which I was already going through. Two-handing is with Y, and we're going to go ahead. You got right stick, which will let you lock on, just like the previous game. And I'm going to go ahead and just start going at these guys, taking them out one by one. See if we can parry here. Parrying is a bit more tricky this time, and I'm going to take like 2 or 3 attempts to try to do this. You kind of have to... Nope, didn't get it. You just gotta get the right timing down. I prefer the parrying in the first game. It's a bit easier and a bit more fun to go with. You can see the only item that I have equipped right now is life gems. We don't have an Estus flask. Life gems are kind of like an Estus flask, but they don't raise as much health. I'm gonna pop one right now just to show you. Use X to pop whatever's in your item inventory, and it's going to slowly raise your health back up. And you can move while popping a life gem, but if you use an Estus flask, you have to. It's going to make you stand still, and it replenishes much quicker than a life gem. So you can see there's another troll down there. We're going to ignore him for now. I believe this talks about backstabbing. Yep, right bumper behind enemy's back is a critical hit, and go ahead. I will say the animations that they have for parrying and backstabs are really fun this time out. I'll go ahead and move up here. I'm going to try to get a parry going, hopefully before the end of this training area. Again, I'm not too fantastic with them. Got a dagger here. And we could go ahead and equip that. So why don't we? Dagger. There we go. You can also see we have room for 4 ring slots, which is fantastic. I like that a lot. So go ahead and you can just switch to your dagger. You can hold 3 weapons this time out, which is really nice. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to work like this. And we've got ourselves an archer. Let's go ahead and hack at him. And let's do a strong attack on this guy. Woo! All right. So far, so good. Can't complain. Keep moving through this area, and we're gonna end up coming out to it's actually after this part right here. Some of the enemies, I will say, have some very fast attacks. At times it feels like it's almost unfair, even for FromSoft, you know. We'll get to see some of those enemies later, kind of like Alone Knights at the Iron Keep, but for now, these guys really aren't bad at all. I mean, it's the training area, you know? So we'll move through this fog wall. And what does this say? You can move your camera. Thank you, game. I was hoping that I would have figured it out by now. And here is pretty much one of the first interactive NPCs we got.
You, give it mouth.
Yep, the crow. The crow is back, and there's actually 2 of them. So they'll take the petrified something that I was referring to earlier, along with some other items like smooth and silky stones. Actually, I don't want to go down that ladder. I want to drop down here. I just saw this item. So we're going to kind of hop off, get ourselves a soul of a nameless soldier. Okay. And we'll hop through here. And we can keep moving through here, but I am going to go through this fog wall just to kind of cover the majority of the training area. Now, we have an archer along with... Oh, no, it's not. Was he an archer? I don't know. Didn't seem like it. Just a couple more hollows hanging out. What we can do is we've got this area right here. This is for jumping, obviously, so we're going to run, and then we're going to click the left stick to jump across. I love that animation. And we're going to get this item. Amber herb. Amber herbs are really useful for anybody that likes to use magic in the game. That will, I believe, restore all of your spell usage on a certain spell. Now, before heading back in here, you see this ladder. We're going to go ahead and climb up it. Now, they've actually refined ladder movement. B, just tapping it will drop you off. Holding B, you can either scale up quickly or slide down. And keep in mind that scaling up quickly is going to use your stamina. So, nifty that they've added this in. And we also have a couple more stones here. Probably talking about how you can attack just from falling. There is an enemy right below us, so I'm just going to drop down and attack. And I totally missed, like the scum that I am. Well done, well done. There is a door over here that I think I missed the first time I actually came into this. My first time I actually played through the game. But you've got this item right here. Cracked red eye orb, and they're allowing us to invade already if we wanted to. But we're going to hold off on that. Go ahead. Keep pressing on through the fog walls. Just a reminder for you guys, I am not an MLG Souls player, so there's going to be quite a few more deaths than you would expect from like an epic name bro or, well, I was going to say Northern Lion, but I've seen Northern Lion die a lot in this game already too. But, you know, anyway, it's going to be entertaining, I promise. This is the last fog wall that we can go through. We're going to partially go through it. Or partially. We're fully going through it. But, okay, so you can actually knock this tree down. And we're going to. And we're going to run across. Woo! Go ahead. And I was trying to parry that gentleman. That wasn't going to help. We ended up picking up another life gem somewhere along the way. And I'm just going to pop one just in case. Got this hole down here, and there should be one or two enemies. There he is. Let's see if I can actually fall on this guy. Probably not, because he's on a platform, I think. No, he's not. Falling damage, of course, is still here. Got this archer hanging out. Come on. Throw a shot at me. Thank you. And we'll quickly move up this ladder. Woo! All right. I wanted to just try to parry one more time, and apparently it wasn't going to happen. There will be plenty of opportunities to parry in the game later on. And thankfully, there's no bosses that really truly require parrying. Now, this is the last mist to cross through. And there's going to be those trolls down there that we were seeing earlier. I'm not going to mess with them either. I'm just going to go ahead and take out this gentleman right here. There is a fun little Easter egg that troll is guarding. If you hop into that coffin down there, if you hop in and hop back out, something does change. I'm not going to tell you what, but if you can catch it, you got a better eye than me, because I didn't notice that on my first time through. But we're going to knock down this tree. This will open up the main area that we were using to travel between all of these fog gates. And now we're going to be heading out of the tutorial area and head into a new area. Yeah, I think it's when I get into areas where it's going to be preloading the next, I get a little choppy there, but I'll look into it. Another tip, oh, we've already got some messages going on here. Praise the sun. Damn straight. Another tip, if you end up killing those trolls down there and every other enemy in this area, in the tutorial area, you can go back to Millibeth. Millibeth will provide you with an item for use on your journey. Not the greatest item in the world, but hey, if you're trying to get every single item in the game, there you go. And this is where shit amps up. This view. Welcome to Majula, bitches. Your Firelink Shrine to Dark Souls 2. So there is an item over here. We are going to pick up our Divine Blessing. Okay. And you know what, also, while I'm thinking about it, I was thinking about maybe getting an item over there, but I'll hold off for now. Let's just get to this bonfire. And we're going to light it up. Sit and rest. And of course, you can attune spells. You can't level up, though. there's another way that you're going to level up in this game, and I'll show you that in the next episode. Another interesting thing is that, unlike having to obtain the Lord Vessel in the first game to be able to warp, they're giving you that ability right off the bat. And people were kind of pissed off about that. I don't mind that so much, because there is a lot of back and forth in this game. So we could warp back to things betwixt at any time. So, burning, I mentioned that earlier. You could burn the bonfire aesthetic. You could also burn human effigies. Now, just popping human effigies, pay attention to this, because I did not realize this at first, and I wasted a couple effigies. You can pop a human effigy, and it will restore your humanity. You could burn an effigy, and it will prevent people from invading you for a short period of time. I thought you could only burn them, so I was burning like 3 or 4 going, why am I not returning to an unhollow state? So, I won't make that mistake ever again, I promise. But I think this is going to be a good place to wrap it up, so thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and comment on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.